If you're on the left that doesn't really follow the debate scene, you're probably wondering what all the fuss is about. But if you're into the debate scene, you'll probably know him as Wannabe Vosh, as this is what most debate fans have been calling him for the last few years. People call him things like
I will just say real quick, he doesn't really have a style that similar to Vosh, especially when it comes to his debates. They're all, well, actually, I think DJ Mule will get into it in a minute, but, you know, they're all kind of, you know, I don't know, we'll get to it.
The Zoomer version of Vosh, or that he's copying Vosh's style, which is hilarious, to be honest, because Vosh copied Destiny's style, and Destiny copied the modern debate format, and they copied the Greco-Roman debate format. I digress a little bit, but you see what I'm saying here. This is a bit of an obtuse thing to criticize him for.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, oh, let's not pause on that frame. Okay. Oh, Jesus. All right. I can't pause this video, damn. No, I mean, the reality is that everything is derivative of everything. Like, that's just how reality works, right? So, I mean, of course you're going to run into things, you know, there's the saying, every song's been sung, every poem's been written, something like, let me actually find it real quick, because I actually really like the quote. Give up on trying to be okay. Well, I don't know if I'd say give up on trying to be original, but I love, by the way, I will just say, I've always been a kind of a sucker for these, like, I don't know, these, like, things where you have, like, a pretty background and then you have, like, some inspirational or, like, meaningful quote. I've always, like, I have a shit ton of those, like, saved in my phone and saved on my computer. But anyway. Yeah, give up on trying to be... Every song's been sung, every picture's been painted, and every story has been told. The best one can do is sing, draw, or tell it again well. So, you know, everything's derivative. The idea that, like, oh, that's so unoriginal, it's not really that much of a criticism. It's just not, you know. But, you know, and he, you know, he's even kind of addressing that that's, you know, a bit derivative. So anyway, moving on.
Xanderhal is also seemingly surrounded by a bunch of controversial drama that is more often than not true for every debate bro on the internet, and a lot of it,
hold up.
Bunch of
okay, let's look at this drama here. I don't like you because vibes is a pretty good summary of all my detractions. I don't care about allegations, just give me the heebie-jeebies. You draw too much drama and this will end poorly. Have fun. Among false allegations against me. This was an important thing that he did, where there was this user by the name of Thought Slime who basically propagated this whole campaign against him to just make him look like a really terrible person, and like he had this like sex cult going on. He didn't, and he had to, you know, debate that and debunk that. And yeah, when you have to do that kind of thing, I mean, you have to do that kind of thing as a public figure. If some, like, bad shit comes out about you and it's not true, you gotta, like, you know, it's either own up to it if it is true and do the little... Guys, I'm sorry. You know, you gotta do that kind of thing. Or if it isn't true, you have to debunk it, because, like, you don't want fucking lies going around about you, obviously. And then this final thing here. Yeah, okay, so this entire video, oh god, I might not Zan's and not Vosh's. I might go over, though, the original video by Noah Samson against Debate Bros. It's fine. I have issues with it, but I like Noah Samson overall, and apparently DJ Mule does too. But you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about it if you guys want to see it or something. Like, maybe I'll go over it. But anyway, that's not what we're here for today.
Controversial drama that is more often than not true for every debate bro on the internet, and a lot of it is concerning and makes you wonder at all why people think he's even a based dude. So with all that in mind, why do people actually like him? Now, I know some of you are not going to want to hear this, but we have to address the facts here. And that is that when you scroll through Xanderhal's YouTube page, there is actually a lot of cool leftist stuff on there. See, he's making videos here about how Trump is bad, he's sticking up for trans people a lot, and that's all good.
Real quick, saying that Trump is bad and that he's sticking up for trans people isn't exactly progressive. It's kind of status quo right now. It kind of has been for the last... I mean, I would say College Humor is a more liberal. I mean, I know they have... they've, injected a few kind of, leftist things in some of their content, and Adam Conover, who did the amazing series of Adam Ruins Everything, as well as recently The G Word on Netflix. I know he's definitely more left-leaning. He's even actually been on Hassan's show and talked about some stuff, and that's all well and good. But, I remember everyone, College Humor, BuzzFeed, all the media sites everywhere were like making fun of Trump. It's just Trump bad is just a thing, and trans inclusionary thought, acceptance and ideology is kind of becoming more and more mainstream now. But I wouldn't say that those things specifically that Xan is doing is progressive per se. I think it's good, but I'm just saying because this is a thing that DJ will do a lot here, where he'll have standards, and then he won't really hold himself or Xan or whoever, anything that he's talking about, to his own standards. It's really weird, but yeah.
People around his age or even a bit older are probably going to see themselves in him a little bit, and maybe even see him as a bit of a role model for getting into politics, especially if they're already kind of skewed to the left.
Real quick, I just want to find out, how old is Xanderhal? By the way, not sponsored by Tab for a Cause, although you should download it if you want to easily support good tabs. He is 23. Okay, for reference, I'm 25, so he's just a couple years younger than me. Cool. Just curious.
He's got a good stream personality, he interacts with chat a lot, and he's generally entertaining in an above average way. He's gained a big following since making content like this, and yes, I know you are gonna get more views and subscribers based on bigger content creators that you associate with. I know that from my own experience, however, you can't deny that Xanderhal, well, he knows how to content create. He is an influencer who has a brand and whatnot. However, you'd be right in thinking that amongst these thumbnails, something just doesn't feel quite right. The more and more you scroll, the more and more you start to see things like this. Yeah, like, Twitter discourse could be a bit myopic and wrong, but why are you focusing on this? Okay, that one's a little bit extra. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, okay, he's just made a video in bad faith about one of my friends. Oh, and there's another one. Okay, she's just like obsessed with drama and... Okay, this is fucked up. What is this guy's purpose on this platform? Is he a leftist? Or is he just a leftist some of the time and a piece of shit whenever it suits him?
Well, first of all, and I think this guy's a pretty good example of this, good political views does not automatically make you a good person. Just the way it is. However, I want to bring up something here, because he was just showing about how, basically, going over Twitter discourse is myopic and yada yada yada. There is a video that Xan went over recently. Let me see if I can find it. It wasn't a year ago. It was just like a month or so ago. I'm going to see if I can find it. Hang on a minute. Oh, I'm still in by most popular. My bad. Was this it? Nope. Okay. Here it is. Okay. Cringing at Mom Life Comics with chat. This video here, cringing at Mom Life Comics, this is actually a very important video, because with this video, he is going over Twitter discourse similar to the whole is femboy a slur thing. And it's important to go over these kind of topics because what you can do is you can go over these broader topics or even these more specific topics and kind of bring people over to your side through that way. And I don't mean that in some like dishonest, manipulative way. I just mean like you get people's attention through something that's already, in the sphere of what people are talking about, what people might be looking up, what's in their algorithm, things they might come across online or in some other way in the media, things you might hear about, those kind of things, right? You talk about those things and you give your ideas on it and you give kind of a leftist, as it were, perspective, and you're all good. There was a video. As I mentioned, I used to be pretty apolitical, or at least I thought that I was. Smash scandal? Let's try it that way. Okay. There was an incident that happened in the Super Smash Bros. Community. Now, Super Smash Bros. Is my favorite game. I guess you could say it's my favorite game series. Maybe my favorite game franchise is the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, and my favorite series is Super Smash Bros. Since the Nintendo 64, every Smash Bros. Game, every new Smash Bros. Game that's come out that I've gotten, it has become my new favorite video game. I love everything about it. I even participated in a tournament in it when I was very young. And the tournaments over the years have gotten bigger and bigger to the point where they started having these kind of like houses to, house tournaments. And at these houses included young people, including young girls. So there was some pretty, not good content, not good behavior going on in these houses. These girls that were just coming to play the game or whatever, they were being taken advantage of. They were having all these different things. And I saw this video in my recommended. I saved it to my watch later, which has probably like 400 videos now. Why are so many pro gamers sexual predators? Looking at the Smash community. And I was blown away by what Vosh had to say and what his take on it and his reasoning for why this happened, as well as ways we can fix these kind of issues and prevent them in the future. Similarly, around this time was, of course, the Shane Dawson video that I mentioned before, right? So I started watching his content, and I would watch, when I find out about a new channel, I generally sort by a content creator's most popular videos, and I watch their most popular videos for a while to get a feel for their channel. Then I normally subscribe, and then I just kind of become a regular viewer of their channel. And what I learned, the more that I, consumed his content, and he discussed all these different things that I, as a cishet white male, was very interested in. Like, he did a great video, he did a great series on incels. And he didn't do it from this way of, like, talking about, like, making fun of them or anything like that. He did it in a way where he was talking about the, he came at it from a very kind of like a very real perspective, talked about kind of, the harm and stuff, right? But as he has, like, incels are mostly right. He kind of, addresses the issues and goes on from there. And it was Vosh himself where I first learned of the concept toxic femininity. I didn't even know this was a thing. I had heard about toxic masculinity and thought, like, oh, whatever, that's some bullshit, like, whatever. But then when I learned about toxic femininity and toxic masculinity, learned what both of those actually are from Vosh, and learned how to properly, like, address those through positive aspects of feminism and things like that, I learned more and more, and eventually came to the conclusion politics is dumb, but very important. I like that he has that as his banner thing because, God, it's true. I learned more and more that this apolitical world and self that I thought I was just wasn't true. There wasn't really a way, especially in today's climate, to be apolitical. Everything that you do in some way or another, especially publicly, has a way of affecting politics in some way. And, I mean, politics are really just like the inner workings of, well, when people talk about it broadly on a country level, they mean the government and how it operates. But politics includes so many important things like, you know, making sure the post office runs, making sure, you know, services are funded, like the police and firefighters and stuff like that, right? All these different things that we just take for granted. All of these are affected by politics. And so I realized everything is affected by politics. If you live in a society, we all we live in a society. Everything is going to be affected by politics. Everything is political in some way or another. That's something that I had to realize, and there was a lot of help that I had through his content and his videos and stuff like that. And I still, follow him and other content creators similar to him. Another one that I wanted to show, by the way, that really kind of opened up my eyes to a lot of this stuff too was, trying to think of her name. I'm sorry, I can't. Oh, right. ContraPoint's video on incels. Now, I didn't know going into this video that Contra is a trans woman. She talked about it midway through the video or toward the end, where she said, this isn't something I really talk about much, and it was a joke because it's something she actually talks about all the time. But I had no idea. I just thought she was an attractive woman. She is. And I liked what she had to say about different things. But so many of these things, these like normie topics that people like Contra and Vosh and all these people were covering that I was, watching and engaging with, were able to introduce me, and of course many others, to more progressive and leftist ideas through these normie topics. So when people like DJ Mule, really kind of chide at these people that will, make this kind of content, this kind of normie content, and do this whole like, oh, people don't need to be brought over kind of thing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, honestly, what are you talking about? He seems to just want to have it be like his little social club where he can feel holier than thou and all that good stuff. But that's not going to have a positive effect on the world around us. You're just being a selfish asshole if you're being that way, truthfully. We'll come to find out more and more as we continue here that is very much what he is in a lot of ways.